It's been a while since the Power Ranger auction finished and it's been a big hit, but there was something that has annoyed me because I think certain elements have come into play in this. Now, let me say that I am so happy that some of the fans were able to get something, either suits, props or monster suits. I'm absolutely really happy that people were able to get something if they were able to. Some of the fans have things that were so hard to get, and either way, again, I am really happy that people got stuff because these items are very sentimental to the fans as well as other people, but we're going to be talking about that today. Now, this is something that annoyed me, and I think it's made it harder for fans to get certain things. Let's start with the Ranger actors. I get that all the Rangers wanted to have their suits. I think that Saban, Disney and Hasbro should have given them their suits at the end, mainly because it would have been a cool thing, something fun, and also something that wouldn't have cost Saban, Disney or Hasbro much money to store them, because finding out that a majority of the stuff from 93 has been stored and has been costing them all a lot of money to store, I generally think that you could have just given the suits to the actors, because you generally could have got these back again. It would have been really easy for them to do. Anyway, this is my opinion. This is where I think it started on what went wrong, and basically it was because of Hunter and Yoshi. Both stated that they should have gotten their suits. Now, mainly the fandom didn't like this, and I can see why that they would. To me, I felt it was just the tone that came off at times. To other people, it felt like entitlement, like I'm only allowed to have them, no one else is, etc, etc. Hunter Dino said, "So sad they're auctioning our suits so they can make a pretty penny instead of giving it to, I don't know, someone who wants and deserves it. If not the actors, maybe the stunt performers. It's just sad." The last part I think rubbed some of the fandom the wrong way, as mentioned, reading that it should go to people such as the actors or the stunt performers. You can see why people would take it the wrong way.
So, I was just made aware that Hasbro is selling off all of our suits from like the past 30 plus years. So all of the Ranger suits are now being, and like props are all being auctioned off in a week or so. If you guys don't know who I am, I played the blue Dynacharge Ranger on Power Rangers Dynacharge, and listen, I get it, like, you gotta make money, right? But how cool would it have been, marketing wise, as a business, right? I get it, it's a business, you gotta make money, but marketing wise, the good karma it would bring if you reached out to all the Ranger actors and individually like sent them a nice gift package of our suits and our props and whatnot. That would be cool, right? Like, we would definitely post about it. People would know about it, right? But hey, what do I know? Times are rough. Hasbro needs the money, maybe? I don't know. Just sad.
Yoshi said quite a bit there, but the main thing about the business part, if you gave the suits to the actors for a publicity stunt, it wouldn't have worked, not unless there was a new season coming out or you had people on the show already. A single post of "thanks Hasbro" wouldn't have done much to give Hasbro that push. Also, fans of said actors might not have actually posted on it. I don't follow many Ranger actors, so seeing them post wouldn't do much. Also, some of the actors might not even post about it. The message could be that people should message Hasbro and tell them that they should say, "give the actors their suits," and in some way it did play out like that. I do think the video was meant to do well, but it wasn't received that well, to be fair. But also again, Hasbro as a business are going to want the money, rather than maybe sending out the suits to get maybe what, 2-3 posts and then never hear about it ever again. Now, what I don't agree with was that Hasbro destroyed the suits in front of them and like tore it to shreds. I generally think that is heartbreaking, and they should have given the suits to the cast. If you're going to destroy it, just give it to the cast. They're not going to throw it away, they're not going to sell it, well, who knows, but either way, they're not going to get rid of the suits because that's a huge big milestone. But I do think Hasbro were really shitty for doing that, like completely shitty. Now, other Rangers did chime in. Ciara Hanna, Blake Foster, Matt Austin, all have said different things. Ciara mentioned that she would like her suit, but if someone bid on it and they won, then she wanted them to love the suit as much as she did. Now, she also added in that she wanted her family and her child to see her actually in the suit. This is something that you need to remember, which we are going to look at in a little bit. Now, the reason why I know this statement was true was a while ago, maybe like a month or two before the auction, Ciara mentioned that she was watching Megaforce and Super Megaforce with a child. Going back to that part, what Hunter said could be manipulation. Before we talk about that, Blake Foster actually said that the fans should be able to bid on anything that they wanted to, but then seeing him sell his costume for like 30 grand or something, it was on Facebook, it was really, really weird. Anyway, going back to Hunter, I reckon that she saw what Ciara said and she posted out this tweet. I also want to show my kids, when that time comes, my suit, and maybe one day they could even try it on. Now, this could be seen as manipulation due to people wanting her to get the suit due to her having future kids, whenever that may be. Either way, I don't think this was a good thing to post about, because what happened next, I think, made all of this a lot worse. Now, I love Power Morphicon a lot, but what happened next I think made stuff worse for the fandom and some of the Ranger actors. At the time of all of this, Power Morphicon stepped in, announced on a post which Rangers wanted their suits. At the time, we only knew Hunter and Yoshi wanting their suits, but then it grew and grew and grew. What went from 2 Rangers grew to 11 Rangers. The post also kind of sounded like it was a massive dig at everything, a good swipe at Saban, which is fair, but it wasn't needed. The main thing was that Power Morphicon was telling people not to bid because they wanted the Rangers to get their suits, which wouldn't work because this auction was worldwide. Heritage would also be promoting this and they wanted their fees and money, so you know that they were going to push this. Anyway, telling people not to bid did more damage than good. The first point was telling people what to do with their money. This is something you shouldn't do. The second is that whichever Ranger wanted their suit would now have to pay more because some people would bid on the suit and drive up the price, and they literally did this with Hunter's suit. What could have gone for say 2 to 3 grand went for a lot higher than normal. With the fact of having more and more light shone on this, it means it was harder to get what the Rangers and the fan base wanted. I can see what the intention was that Power Morphicon wanted, but all it did was more damage, and that was really kind of frustrating. They kept updating and announcing the entire thing, which again brought more attention to it. Power Morphicon wanted the fandom to do a nice thing for the Ranger actors, but again, most of the fandom aren't nice. We've seen this many times. We all know that this is the internet and it wouldn't have gone that way that they wanted anyway. With the message of saying like, you know, don't bid on this, let the Rangers have their suits, some fans took this to heart and actually thought that they couldn't bid because they didn't want the heat. They didn't want to bid on this Ranger item because, you know, it was going to go to the actors, and we know that they wouldn't. And that's one thing that really did frustrate me, because one person may have wanted a suit or a prop or something that meant a lot to them when growing up, or that they could have gone through a hard time. And hearing a big convention say, no, you shouldn't be bidding on it, I think really did stick with them, and now they could have missed out on it. And that's what really is heartbreaking. One of the main reasons is that these props and suits mean something to the fans. Without the fans, these Rangers wouldn't be in the place that they are now. These suits mean a lot to the fans out there, so I personally felt that this was a slap in the face. It would be like telling someone that they couldn't bid on things because someone else might want it, or that they want it more than you. Now, with seeing all of this in mind, I generally think that this could have been played out. If nothing was said, then maybe we wouldn't have seen what happened and how the auction went. This isn't a toy auction or an eBay thing. This was something that may have been a once in a lifetime opportunity until maybe they do another one in 2025. Those are the rumors, don't quote me on that one. But yeah, this could have been a once in a lifetime, and a fan could have just sat down and gone, I don't want to bid on this because my hero or someone that I looked up to could have had this. And yet again, that suit may or not gone to the Ranger. It could have gone to someone completely different. Anyway, I am going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on all of this? Did you bid on something? Did you pass because you wanted a Ranger to get something? Let me know down below in the comments, and while you're down there, hit like and subscribe, and why not check out the Patreon as well as the channel memberships. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimona Cat. Your help goes a long way to help support the channel, and if you want to help support the channel, the links to my Patreon and channel memberships are listed below in the description.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。 以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。